Welcome to BizTech's C-Suite Conversation Show. Today we have Tong Yang. He's the Head of Technology and Innovation and the CTO for ASEAN at Fujitsu. Now, since its founding in Japan in 1935, Fujitsu has consistently demonstrated its technological prowess and unwavering commitment to innovation. Now, to tell us more about Fujitsu and its history, welcome to the show, Yang.
Thanks, Brian. I think you probably give a good introduction where Fujitsu was founded in 1935. I think as of this year, we are in the 88th anniversary. And I think not many old brand of technology company are still around after more than 80 years. So we pride ourselves having a strong heritage, especially in Japanese entity, where we look into one of the oldest technology company today, and we are in the midst of this transformation. Actually, for Fujitsu itself, we operate globally in over more than 100 countries, and we total have more than 124,000 employees worldwide, trying to solve some of the greatest challenge facing humanity. One of the key thing about Fujitsu is we are very focused on sustainability transformation. We pride ourselves where most of our products line, in terms of hardware products line, actually are derived from sustainable sources. So this actually is one of the key reasons where our purpose statement is looking at how we can build trust in the society to make it more sustainable. And of course, our range of services solution includes services, technology solutions, software, hardware, but most importantly, all these services and solutions actually rides on some of Fujitsu key technology that comes from the 5 key technology area, which is computing, network, AI, data and security, and converging technologies, and which we are looking at how we can bring them together to our customer to deliver sustainability transformation.
Now, Yang, you became CTO for ASEAN in 2022. Give us through your lens, what the ASEAN technology roadmap looks like for Fujitsu, particularly in the various mature markets like Singapore, and then perhaps some of the less mature markets.
That's a very, very good question. Actually, ASEAN is always a very complicated place to operate because it actually has countries that are of different maturity level, be it the more advanced nation like Singapore to the less advanced nation up and coming, I would say developing like Vietnam. Actually, Vietnam is undergoing huge transformation. So with these two extreme, actually you have some of the countries that's in between of these two countries are making their growth. I would say after Singapore, the next strongest growth engine in terms of maturity would be Thailand, where it's a manufacturing hub. Wages are rising. You can see that Thailand itself is also undergoing transformation, where it's trying to replicate some of Singapore's secret recipe for success and trying to make themselves up the value chain. So with that, this is where we are looking at how Fujitsu itself established our technology roadmap to serve countries of different maturity. For Singapore, we are looking at the more advanced technology. Today in the market, we are looking at how we can bring in quantum computing as well as artificial intelligence AI into this market. For the other countries, maybe it's focusing more on the I would say less advanced technology, such things like networking. Maybe in terms of deployment, we're also looking at how data technologies, security technologies can come in to support the region growth. So in short, our roadmap is for the more mature advanced country, we will pitch to them the latest technology, create more MVP, where we look for our customer to drive some of the minimum viable product POC that we can co-create with our customer to drive new business solution, new business scenarios and use cases. Yep. So for the less mature country that are developing, this is where we have more definite use case that's part of our Fujitsu Uvance global offerings, and this is where we drive the solution that has been proven with use cases and business scenarios established worldwide to be rolled out in this part of the region. Yeah, okay. That's how we typically manage the roadmap.
So Keryang, for the benefit of the audience, and give us some examples of really companies that you've helped across the region, perhaps as you said, in different states of maturity. You know, the manufacturing companies I'm sure you've helped in their digital transformation. You also, in more mature markets, would work with financial services companies, for example.
Yep. So maybe one of the example in ASEAN that we work with is Rise Exchange. I think there's a Rise Exchange company where we supply blockchain technology, where we build the blockchain platform for them to trade Rise effectively. So this is one of the example. The other example is, especially in Thailand, we have many customers that's from the automotive industry. And this is where we do a lot of our technology solutions, be it with our key technology like quantum-inspired technology, digital annealer, where we talk about how we can solve combinatory optimization problem quickly over classical compute. This is one example, and the use cases that it can be deployed is in warehousing, logistics, even in route optimization as well as planning. So these are some of the things that we have. And of course, in other areas where we talk about AI, where we look into deploying our human sensing AI into serving our developing countries in terms of their growth, how we can monitor the workers' operation process, whether is it in line and whether is it following the steps to undergo the quality control itself. So these are some of the things that we have.
Okay, Keryang, I want to zoom in on what you just said. You just talked about AI, and you talked about one of the use cases, but really from an AI perspective across the region, it's a combination of things, isn't it? It is in some instances just optimizing processes, but in other instances, AI can completely help transform businesses in terms of new revenue opportunities, new markets, and so forth. Could you give us a sense of some of the things that you're working on that perhaps would benefit customers across the region?
Sure. Actually, AI has been around for very, very long, but only in the last 1 year with the introduction of OpenAI that brought about generative AI solution, that's where AI actually kicked off. Actually, Fujitsu has been investing a lot of research and development efforts into AI. We hold one of the largest AI patents in the world as well. AI itself is, in short, is a short form for artificial intelligence. But in reality, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it's about how we can mimic a human intelligence, judgment, or decision making. So there are many facets of AI technology, generative AI technology by OpenAI, and recently developed that has been rolled out and launched by Microsoft, is talking about summarization skills, generating contents, able to take the data itself that's in the content and able to create new content out of it. So this is what generative AI is. It's like part of our human nature where we able to comprehend past literature or content, and we're able to carve out new one based on what we have historically. This is maybe a part of human intelligence. But in Fujitsu itself, we actually have many different kinds of AI technology where we talk about explainable AI, how the AI can explain, for example, why an organization make a certain choice in hiring a particular candidate, for example. That is something generative AI maybe can't do it because they can't explain the rationale behind it.
And explainable AI sounds really interesting because that is a problem, and you've hit a process within the corporate structure of hiring, where in the past, yes, it's algorithm driven, but the thing is, a lot of times, because it's rules based and not human thinking, the elements around selecting will automatically deselect certain people based on the rules. And so I'm interested to hear more about what you've just said.
Yeah, so this is a technology that Fujitsu have in terms of wide learning AI capability. it able to use semantic search technology and able to break down the kind of query that's incoming into its basic form to explain it. So this is one key area of AI. But in other area of AI that Fujitsu actually have, I think another one would be human sensing AI. This is something that maybe a good example is in the last Tokyo Olympics. Actually, it was deployed human sensing AI to actually look at how to judge Olympic participant of his action, whether is it fluent enough in terms of the judgment. So this human sensing AI is another part of our human intelligence where we, besides able to explain things, the rationale, the logic, and we are also able to use the human sensing AI to break down the human basic action. So one of the key use case that we have today, which we are rolling out to a lot of customers in this part of the region and globally, is we use this human sensing AI to look at suspicious behavior analysis. For example, you have a particular, let's say, thief, robber that is standing in front of a window, attempting to pick it. He managed to pick it. He opened the window and he actually got into the building or the house. Straight away, you can detect this as a suspicious behavior because he doesn't have a key. He doesn't enter it through the proper front door means. He just pry open certain things and he get in. Another way of looking at this is maybe someone is lock picking a car. Someone is lock picking a door. So all this action, when the person actually does this action, is when they are squatting down, they use their hand action to pry open a particular door, and thereafter they secretly creep in. This human basic action can be derived as what we call human sensing AI.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, given that this scenario, then, if I am a CIO of a conglomerate, what are key 3 points I need to think about when I'm looking at business transformation for 2024? What are the things I really need to look at? So I'm a large conglomerate in ASEAN, so multiple businesses. What are the key 3 things I need to focus on in my business transformation journey?
At Fujitsu in the Asia Pacific region, we have developed a key formula to advance digital transformation journey, especially in 2024 onwards. Our key formula is called PX plus DX equal SX. In short, what does that mean? PX, it stands for people transformation. DX stands for digital transformation. So when you have people transformation with addition to digital transformation, it actually gives you sustainable transformation, which is SX. So what we do is that we're able to drive sustainable transformation through digital innovation. First, we have to tackle the people, how we can change the mindset, how we can foster a culture of innovation for them to keep improving. And thereafter, when we talk about digital transformation, how we can incorporate the technology in and derive the strategy that the business needs to take to leverage on the technology, be it to drive digital adoption, technical risks, or costs. And this, we will be able to set the priorities and go for each phase, has the initiative and create a timeline for achieving them. And this actually will involve evoking data security and privacy checks. And the transformation actually will happen sustainably through the digital means where it actually improves efficiency and cost. And of course, with the human nature that actually drives this, we will be able to navigate the sustainable transformation part to create more sustainable vision for the environment. So this is what we envision it to be.
And so, Kayang, here's the dilemma, right? The key point of failure here is not technology; it's actually people. And how do you then, as you've identified that the fundamental, the P that you start with, what are the things you do to help the customer in this journey, in terms of upskilling their people, for example, to be able to then have sufficient level of skill set then to to even think about and move along their digital transformation journey?
Okay, in the APAC region, under my team, actually we have consultants that actually specialize in design thinking methodology. So with design thinking, we able to work together to solve a problem statement. But before that, actually, first we align ourselves to a persona, to think in that persona, we choose what actually is the key challenges that that person needs to solve or need to overcome and what he face daily. And from that persona point of view, we start to ideate, start to think how we can solve these challenges. And through the ideation phase, we slowly go derive what is the most feasible idea and what's the most likely to implement idea in terms of difficulty. And this is where we able to generate through a team where typically design thinking is created. The workshop is typically created through a team from cross-functional perspective so that everybody's view is taken together and everybody is actually aligned with the persona, and we able to ideate and solve the problem through different iteration of innovation and deriving the technology roadmap and the timeline to eventually implement it. Yeah, that's how we work on that.
And that's mission critical. Again, if the people are a point of failure and you've addressed that very early on in the project with a design thinking workshops and I'm sure a series of workshops and stuff, that's going to then ensure the success of the implementation then moving forward. Now, Ke Yang, looking ahead with the end of 2023 right now, what's in store from Fujitsu in the next 12 to 24 months from a technology perspective? What are you talking to customers about as far as their digital transformation journey is on?
Oh, okay. I think 2023 is an exciting year. We have a recent press release where we are working in the APAC region in Australia with Macquarie University. We are looking at developing a personalized digital code with Gen AI. Actually, this is a research and development initiative that Fujitsu, together with Macquarie University, jointly undertake. It's the first in APAC region. Of course, we are looking at small subsequent R&D, but with this, we are looking at R&D to develop the next personalized digital code using generative AI, especially to help people to be able to use generative AI to provide advice to them how they can maybe excel in sports, or also in medical care, etc. So this is one area. But with Fujitsu launching some of the key technology in this year, especially with Kozuchi, our AI platform that's actually built together on Microsoft Azure. This is where we're able to take many AI technology that I explained earlier on, human sensing technology, even our generative AI solution that are able to integrate private data store, as well as the explainable AI, graph AI. We have many AI solutions that's found on the platform, and we welcome customers to approach us to actually try it out for POC. Actually, right now, that's what my team charter is. So with this AI, we are looking at how to propel Fujitsu in APAC region to greater heights, to drive on the AI to help our customers solve their sustainability challenge. This is one. Another one is we are looking at quantum computing collaboration with Research Institute. Fujitsu in October, we just announced that we have launched our 64-qubit quantum gate computer together with Riken in Japan. This is actually somewhat achievement because of the high quality of quantum gate computer that we launched. We're able to get many inquiries, and we are now looking at how to use quantum gate computer to streamline together with other computing needs like classical compute, high performance compute, to help solve our customer sustainability challenges worldwide. So this is something that we look forward.
No, and Ke Yang, I want to ask you this because this is on the tips of many decision makers. We hear technology people talking about quantum computing. What is quantum computing and how is it going to impact our businesses?
Okay. Quantum computing right now is at the infant stage, at the early stage. It is still undergoing a lot of research and development. Right now, it's mainly exploring with the quantum physics to see how the quantum computer perform under low, very, very low temperature, and whether can it sustain the kind of error mitigation techniques. So we are still exploring that. In the interim, what is visible from quantum computing is Fujitsu actually has quantum-inspired technology, which we call digital annealer. Is based on quantum annealing concept. It's actually very similar to a quantum gate computer, just that for digital annealer is based on the normal IC compute, where we are looking at how we can find through a possible sets of solution, a feasible solution, which is the most suitable solution in a short span of time. The difference between quantum-inspired technology with classical compute is with classical compute, we are looking at all possibility by deriving all the data in and trying to find all possible permutation of this approach in terms of optimization. But with Fujitsu digital annealer, which is a quantum annealer, we able to scan at one go and find you the most optimized solution or path instantaneously. So it actually minimizes a lot of cost.
Okay, so could you give us some examples maybe of some use cases around quantum computing that demonstrates its advantages?
Okay, one of the example that actually I can share with you is a very classic one. We in Hamburg port, that's in Europe, we actually deploy quantum computer, which is our digital annealer, quantum inspired technologies, to manage the traffic lights in the port area. What happened in Hamburg port is that we are looking at Hamburg port being a port, shipping port where goods are coming in. And this is where they need to be shipped inland by container trucks. And most of the time, the traffic hold up due to the number of container trucks that's coming in and out as the ship comes in. It actually causes a lot of issues because of the congestion, and not to mention the amount of petrol it uses, the carbon emission. So with our digital annealer, we're able to optimize the best route to have less stop of a more go traffic kind of scenario. It allows the container trucks to have a smoother flow. And this actually allow us to achieve 9% less carbon emission. So this is actually our way of bringing back to the society to build a more sustainable world. And of course, the other part of the use cases is actually in UK Space Agency. We are also looking at digital annealer, helping them to solve space problem of how to effectively remove the debris from the space.
That's a very big problem that needs to be looked at. You know, everything that we put up in space just floats around. So there's thousands of pieces of junk going around the atmosphere.
Yep. So this is some of the bigger challenge that we play by Fujitsu contributing it to make the world a more sustainable workplace.
And with that, looking ahead now, what's in store for Fujitsu in 2024, 2025, from a business perspective?
From a business perspective, Fujitsu is undergoing transformation like any technology company, because today the world is very different from what it used to be. So we are looking at more driving towards services, and we are looking at driving towards what we call as cross-industry solutions. Because in today's context, I think there are many white spaces or gap between one industry to another industry. Let me quote you an example, what I meant by that. Example, where we talk about logistic route optimization, is that a manufacturing industry issue, challenge, or is that also a retail industry challenge? So as you can see, this route optimization where we actually needs to transport things around is actually cross-industry. So these are some of the business area that we are targeting because there are some white spaces where we couldn't really allow it to be cross-industry functional. So these are something that we are looking at. And that is what our Uvance team is looking into.
And this is fascinating. Ke Yang, it's been a great conversation. I've learned a lot. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
Yeah, it also my pleasure to speak with you, Brian. I think the final thoughts that I have is stay tuned for Fujitsu in 2024. For next year, in some of our event that we are going to roll out in terms of our promotion campaign, we call it Fujitsu Activate Now. Actually, it started this year. We are actually incorporating what we call experience track to our customer. For example, the recent one that we held in Thailand, in Philippines, we actually built a real unmanned store where we allow people to experience what it takes without a kind of store attendant attending to you. It's a pure unmanned store, taking the goods that you want, checking it out without people attending to you, without people scrutinizing you. So this is something that we want people to experience our Fujitsu services, solutions, and technologies. So that is something coming up.
Now, we've been speaking. Ke Yang, thank you very much for taking your time to come on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for the invite. Look forward to talking to you more.
Absolutely. Now, we've been speaking to Tong Ke Yang. He's the Head of Technology and Innovation and ASEAN CTO at Fujitsu. I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to BizTech's C-Suite Conversation Show. The show will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
Thank you.